I was sitting with my grandma and grandpa at their dinner table, and I said, "Can you pass the butter?" And I got kicked in the shins under the table. And I looked at my dad, and he goes, "Excuse me, and please." At the time, I was like, God bless, this dude is strict. But I look back on it, and I'm like, he cared enough to teach me that.
I kind of knew that stuff like when I was like 10 because you taught us how to properly shake a hand, look someone in the eye, good posture.
Old school manners, man. Like that stuff is still cool, and it still gets you far. What's up?
What's up?
And cut to 2 again.
Yeah, we did the same exact thing. You forgot to push record, didn't you?
I did.
Silly goose.
Silly moof. What's up, man? It's July.
I cannot believe it's already July, honestly. I feel like it kind of went really fast, like June, just like that. Well, I spent the first half of it on vacation.
Yeah, you did. And without me. How dare you?
You showed up.
Yeah, I did. Sort of. It was kind of crazy. So let's bring everybody up to speed on that. Before we do that, let's kind of just hook everybody into what we're going to be talking about today. So one of the things that I think has gotten, and I want your opinion on this, we jammed on this before we hit record today, which is I think that your generation is quite a bit different than mine, meaning like from what I would say maybe communication, conversational excellence, and like sort of maybe like old school.
Like, or professional level.
Yeah. And I'm not like ripping on there's a mosquito, one of many. I'm not, by the way, we're fireside again today, guys.
Yeah.
So, which is super cool. So we're going to be eaten alive by mosquitoes, but that's okay.
And you're going to hear crazy people and pit bikes probably.
Probably. And never mind, that was a weed whipper. Anyway, what we're going to be talking about today is, how your generation, I think, has tremendous opportunity to really like sort of step up and learn, I think, some old school manners from old school things that I think my generation did. And I got to be honest with you, man, quite honestly, we didn't even do it that well, but I think the generation before us probably did it pretty good. And we're going to give some examples of communication tips and tricks. I don't want to even call them tips and tricks. They're actually, it's conversational excellence and it's communication excellence. And it's what we can teach, I think, our kids, things that I think go really, really far in life. And I think it's not really like on you guys' radar too much, and I think we have a tremendous example from what happened to you even today, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
So we've even got a story.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to be talking about that. So it's basically bringing, the gold from our generation of conversational excellence. Not that we were the badasses of it, but I think we were pretty good in some cases, and bringing it to this generation where we can teach our kids. But you're going to be teaching us because you've gone through this a little bit. But don't worry, I'm going to cue you up and all that. But anyway, we're here on July 2nd.
Yes.
It's 4 days, 2 days from July 4th, and it's 4 days from my 50th birthday.
How you feel?
Well, right now, with this busted knee that I'm rehabbing, I do feel a little 50-ish, but
I don't know. I feel like you're doing better than most 50-year-olds.
I think I'm doing okay. So still staying in shape.
Yeah.
Still training.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still doing it, man. I call it control the controllables.
Exactly.
It's my diet. It's my supplements. It's my PT. It's training upper body. The diet's clean, which, by the way, we got to give a quick shout out to our show sponsor, which is who?
First Form.
Which, by the way, thank you, First Form, for finally launching a grip energy drink.
I found it in Deerbergs.
You found it at Deerbergs?
I found it at Deerbergs.
Oh, shoot. For those guys outside of St. Louis, they're like, what is Deerbergs? It's a local grocery store here. But, dude, Grape Smash just came out, and Orange Fury.
Orange Fury.
Orange Fury.
That sounds great, actually. Yeah, I like their orange flavors, like the Orange Sunrise. That was a good one.
Well, we jammed on that a couple weeks ago. We were talking about it tastes like an Orange Crush back in the day.
Yes.
But, dude, so my shipment I can't even tell you guys, I don't know what it tastes like. But I have clients who have tried it, and I'm seeing snapshots of dudes within their hands, and they're like, this is the best one yet if you like grape. So apparently the Grape Smash is the jam. So if you like grape soda, go check them out. We'll have a link in the show notes for you guys. But All of their stuff, it obviously helps out this particular show, our Wednesday show. But if you go to firstform.com/dad edge, you use that link, you get 75. If you spend over $75, you get free shipping. You spend over $150, they usually throw in some sort of goodie like a 4-pack energy drink, and over $200 you get a shirt. But you get all three of those things, which is super cool. But I've been using their products since 2009. I'm really heavily using a lot more of their products now, using heavily Microfactor, their reds, their greens, and dude, I'm taking 80 to 90 grams of collagen per day.
Wow.
To get this thing rehabbed, because collagen is a fantastic peptide that actually heals ligaments and speeds recovery and tendons.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. I've talked too much already, so let's get to you.
Talk too much.
You talk too much. Dad, you talk too much. You don't listen.
Just shut up for a second.
So, well, real quick, let's bring everyone up to speed. You've been out of school for a month.
Yes, I have.
Done with school.
Thank God.
And there's been a few things that have happened to you, which, by the way, if you hear that's the fire right next to us.
Yes.
I hear crazy kids in the background too.
And a horn.
And a horn. There's that.
It's probably because that golf cart way over there.
Yeah, but so the other day you did something really, really cool. You went and did something, shadowed a certain career path that you're going down.
Oh, yes, I did.
Bring us up to speed.
I wouldn't say shadowed. I just kind of showed up and I was being shown how it all runs down there. I got the opportunity to visit the fire department because that's what I want to be, is become a firefighter. And one of my buddies who wrestles, his dad is a firefighter, and he gave me the opportunity to come to the station and show me around, like where they sleep, where they cook their food, where all the trucks are and everything inside the trucks, what kind of a regular day looks like. And I actually got to go on a grocery run with them in the fire truck, and I got to wear the headset and everything. It was so cool.
Dude, how cool was that?
Oh, it was so cool. I can cross that off my bucket list. Even though it's going to be part of my daily life when I'm like 30, 40 years old. So, and the people there were telling me about all the crazy things they see, all the nasty things they see, but also all the great things they get to see. And look at that, the lights are on.
The lights. Yes, they're the lights.
And so I didn't even really, I was going to ask them about, how did they handle, the crazy stuff. And I didn't even have to ask that. They kind of just went into it because they told me about that stuff because they have to know that I'm going to be able to handle this, or at least know what I'm getting into. And like I said before on the last one, I'm aware of it. I wouldn't say I'm prepared for it just yet because, I haven't even started EMT school yet. So, just yet. So, but it was super cool. I love everyone there. So, yeah.
Does it make you nervous knowing that? I mean, because the fascinating thing about this is that they were very open with you and they shared some. We'll leave it out.
Oh, I'm not going to go into detail at all.
But some pretty graphic things that they've experienced.
Very graphic.
And when you told me about what, I was like, whoa, dude. My mind doesn't even go there when I think of really gruesome things. Like the one story you told me we'll leave out. But,
yeah, I'm not going to go into that at all.
I mean, how does that sit with you, knowing that you're going to be seeing that stuff?
It's a little uneasy, but I'm okay to go into that. I'm, like I said, not prepared just yet, but I'm aware of it and I know what I'm getting myself into. But like I said, I want to help people, and if I have to see kind of the dark sides of how humans are, it just is what it is about that. So I'm okay with it. I'm a little scared though, but
what do you think you've learned over the years to prepare you for that though? Like those things,
like just the crazy things about human nature.
Yeah, just being prepared for the unexpected, being prepared for seeing maybe the dark side of humanity, just being prepared to maybe some things you might have learned along your childhood, or it could be the darkness when I used to beat you in the middle of the night with belts and bats when you were misbehaving.
Whenever I got a B on my test.
That's right.
You have dishonor to this family.
That's right. I think it was like we talked about the movie Good Will Hunting a couple weeks ago, and like, my dad used to just put a wrench, a belt, and a hammer on the table and just say choose.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, pick your poison. Luckily, but is there anything that you can like point back to that maybe you're like, I think and it doesn't have to be anything like I've been through horrible things. It could be through like, hey, I've experienced even good things, which allow me to feed my mind and my soul when I see dark things. It could be anything that you think has got you well prepared for something like that, or as prepared as you possibly can be.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
We can come back to it too.
I think I have something in mind.
Okay.
I do remember when I was like in first grade. I was like 8. This was after I repeated it. I'm
here again. It was just like me in 8th grade. I'm here again.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember going to we all went to a baseball game. We went to saw a Cardinals game, actually. I think this is like the first time I've seen something kind of dark by like the dark side of what humans are like, I guess. Not really, though. It's just like a story that was like, whoa. I don't know if I was ready for that just yet, but I saw it, and we were leaving the stadium. I think we left a little early, actually, because it wasn't that crowded. But I remember there was a lot of commotion going on. Fireworks were being shot out of the stadium. People were being loud, and I heard an ambulance drive by us, and I actually got a peek inside of the truck, the ambulance, and I saw a woman in there that looked like she was in so much pain. Like, she looked like she was in so much distress, and like the paramedics were, from what I could see when they were driving by, like they were kind of going kind of fast, but I could see the woman's face, and she just looked scared and hurt and just distress, and like all kinds of different things were going on. I was like, whoa, that doesn't look good. I don't know what happened. I don't know if she got into a fight. I don't know if like someone robbed her and she got hurt. I don't know. All I know is that she looked like she was hurt, and obviously she was being taken care of by the paramedics, and that was a little like, whoa. I don't know if I was ready to see that, because I've never seen, because it was very rare. We've seen plenty of times like fire trucks, police cars, ambulance, all coming down the roads by their sirens, but once in a blue moon I'll ever see someone being carried on a stretcher, unless it's on TV. But once we've seen people on a stretcher, we're just like, whoa, that's different. You don't see that every day. But if you are in that field, it is every day, almost every day.
Yeah, it is every day. I got a little something for you that I think just came to mind. And I think it's I call it your empathetic muscles.
Yeah.
You're a very empathetic person, to where I see you feel other people's feelings, and I see you support other people in a way that I don't see many people your age do. So like you have a very comforting way about you. So like and I've witnessed this firsthand.
Oh yeah.
When I got hurt.
Oh yeah. That's right.
So there we were in the middle of Bufu, Missouri. I'm not going to say what I want to say. You know what I want to say.
Bufu, Missouri.
Yeah. Bum F, Missouri, like in the middle. So for the Forge, we were in Piedmont, Missouri, which was about 2.5 hours from a hospital.
Literally in the middle of nowhere.
Literally in the middle of nowhere. And I got hurt. And that was one of those people that was in excruciating pain on the ground. And you not only remained calm, but when we went back to the cabin, you were there to help me. You were there to support me. And with no questions asked and with a very calm demeanor, you had to drive me from the middle of nowhere, where we didn't even have reception.
Yeah, I had literally had to drive. So we were at this like camp, like establishment, It had
Eagle Sky.
Yeah, it had absolutely no service unless you were inside of a building. And so I couldn't get the maps pulled up until after we left the area. Like, it's a gravel road everywhere you're driving. But until we hit the actual pavement, you'll actually get signal, but very little signal.
Yeah. But the thing is you remained calm.
Mm-hmm.
You drove very carefully because I had to sit on the floor of the van. We had to take the seat out because I couldn't bend my leg.
We had to put it in the trunk.
And you very calmly drove me to the hospital when you could have freaked out and you could have been like, I don't know what to do. Like, what are we going to do? Like, I
don't think you realize how scared I was.
I could tell.
Oh, but whenever we were on that gravel road, there were so many potholes and stuff. I was so scared if we just made a little bump, it would have hurt you really bad. And I was so scared.
I could tell how scared you were because I know you. Mm-hmm. I could tell by your demeanor. You were white knuckling I was watching your hands on the steering wheel and you were white knuckling the steering wheel.
Yeah, but I was the most laser focused I've ever been while driving.
Exactly. You were laser focused. You were calm. Whether you had chaos in your mind or not, you remained calm. And to me, if I did not know you and I didn't know you as well as I did, I'd be like, holy crap, this kid is remaining very calm in the chaos.
Yeah.
And he's not.
You have to.
Yeah, and you're not letting your emotions get the best of you. And there were potholes, and you're like, I'm not getting reception. I don't know where I'm at. What if we get lost? And there was none of that from you. You were just like, I can't get reception.
We're going to find reception, though.
Yeah, we're going to find reception. And you remain calm.
Yeah.
So, dude, that's a superpower. And
Wrestling helped with that, actually.
Yeah, I bet it did. The other thing too is you kept checking in on me. You kept asking me if I was all right. Like, hey, you doing okay back there? Things like that. So even though you were in a stressful state, not only were you calm, but you were calming to me.
Yes.
I felt very secure knowing that you were in that driver's seat. Seriously, it's very proud. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of man that is going to save people. That's the kind of man who's going to remain calm in those situations. So I think it's a good time to tell you I love you. I just felt it.
I love you too.
Well, let's get to what we want to talk about today, which is I think your generation, you did something big today.
Mm-hmm.
You went and chased something down that you want to do, and you did it I think in such a way that your generation really doesn't do that often. So I want you to tell that story.
Okay, so obviously school just ended a month ago. It's July, and I have been job hunting for a while. A lot of the places I tried to go in person, but they were like, you got to do it online. We can't do this in person. And they didn't have paper forms of an application. So I was like, all right, I've applied to so many places. I've been turned down. And I finally, can I say the establishment?
I think so, yeah, it'd be fine.
Okay, so it's at this...
I would just say auto repair. How about that?
Okay, yeah, it's an auto repair shop. You do tire changes, oil changes, tire rotations. You just fix cars. And I finally applied. And it was super easy, actually. It was a lot easier than most jobs that I've applied to. And then I dressed up in some business casual, a good, nice polo, some khaki pants, nice shoes. Made sure I was freshly shaven, teeth brushed, showered. Everything looked good. I brought my resume, even though I already submitted it, but it's always good to have an extra copy. And I went, after I applied and submitted my application, I went to the establishment and said, hello, my name is Ethan Hagner. I just wanted to let you know I wanted to come down here and tell you myself I applied to your establishment and thought I should let you know. I brought my resume and everything. And the guy behind the front desk goes, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm going to bring this resume over to my manager right now. Brings it over to the manager. I hear him call my name from the office, actually. He goes, Ethan, come over here. Yes, sir. He goes, come over here right now. I need you. I was like, okay.
And how old was this guy, you think?
63.
Did he tell you that?
Yes.
Okay.
He did. He told me multiple times, actually. And he goes, so you want to work here? I was like, yes, I do, sir. He goes, well, thank you so much for coming in. I didn't think we would have someone come in. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, we don't get that often. We just get applications and we don't usually have people come in. I was like, okay, well, that's great. He goes, and then he actually interviewed me on the spot. He asked me, like, what?
I was just going to say, what kind of questions did he ask you?
Oh, he asked me, he actually asked me how he can help me be successful.
Oh my gosh. Like, so I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Like,
and that one kind of was like, whoa, I don't really know. Like, I guess, I mean, with some stuff, I can be either a fast learner or a slow learner. But I think one thing that would help a lot is some patience. He's like, oh, I got patience for you. I'm 63 years old. I'm sure I can teach you and you pick it up just fine. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, I can help you with that.
What else did he ask you?
He asked me, what was it?
By the way, what a cool question for an employer to ask a potential employee. How can I help you be successful? Dude, that is a servant leader right there.
Yeah.
Like, that is cool. So keep going.
What did he say? He basically said, why should I hire you?
Oh my gosh, what did you say?
Guys,
I haven't heard this story yet. So let's go. What did you say?
I said, I think you should hire me because, well, I have a really good work ethic. You can ask a few of the people I have listed as my references on my resume. I'm very disciplined because I wrestled, and I just know a discipline at another level. I will show up to work on time. Actually, I will show up to work early. I said that. I won't slack around. If you need me to do something, it'll be done. If you need me to clean the bathrooms, for crying out loud, it'll be done. He was like, really? I'm like, yes, I'll do anything it takes just to make you proud, really. He's like, I like that answer.
Very cool. Very cool. Was there anything? What else did he ask you?
He put me in a scenario.
Oh, let's hear it. I want to hear this.
Not necessarily. He kind of was like, so do you have that one person in your life that just kind of annoys you? Like just the way he talks to you, the way he mosquito. You didn't see that?
That thing was like the size of an eagle.
That thing was pretty big.
Prehistoric mutated mosquito.
He's like, what are you doing over here? Oh, I'm going to get away. But anyways.
You're type O blood anyway. I don't like that.
I'm actually not. But he's like, so you have that one person in your life that you just don't really like. The attitude he gives you, the way he talks to you, the way he asks things towards you. How do you handle that? I was like, actually, I don't really do much about it. There will be times I would say something, but I can't do much. I can only control the controllables.
You said that?
I said that.
What did he say?
He said, wow, I was not expecting that answer. I was like, so I was kind of putting a story like, listen, I understand this is how you kind of operate, but this mentality that you have going on here, a lot of people aren't going to like you for it. I'm just saying. I'm saying that because I'm your friend. And if you're going to keep acting like this, I don't think I want to continue friends like this, but I can only control so many things, and if that's not how you're going to change, then I'm not going to bother.
Well, I mean, I think, man, the controllables, because at the end of the day, that's actually all we can do, no matter how old we are, no matter what job, no matter what relationship. Like, dude, that's gold.
Yeah.
Did he ask you anything else?
That's all I can really remember.
Yeah.
Other stuff was just like, will you show up to work on time? I was like, yeah. He's like, can you work full time? I said, yes.
Okay.
I can work on weekends too.
Now, you did something right behind us.
Yes. Ride little pit bikes.
That's right. Hey, this guy can fix your pit bike. He's going to work at auto repair. I love doing that. It's so much fun.
Oh, these are awesome.
So you did something, though, that I think, first of all, story I'm telling myself is you're a good handshaker. You look people in the eye when you handshake, and you have good posture and everything else. And I'm guessing you did that.
Of course I did that.
Okay. I just wanted to point that out because I know that's normal for you, but it's I mean, I think you and I can go back to an interaction that we had with a friend of yours at a gym once, and you introduced him to me, and he was sitting on a bench, and you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his name, but He didn't even make eye contact, and he didn't even look away from his phone. Yeah.
Oh, I do remember this. I actually remember looking at my friend after that. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Seriously? That's how you're gonna put your first impression out there, right? Really?
And you and I looked at each other like, like, yeah, you were like 14, I think.
No.
Right?
Oh, I was 15. That was my freshman year.
Okay.
I was 15 years old.
Got it. Okay, so 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So you even knew back then. But
I kind of knew that stuff like when I was like 10 because you taught us how to properly shake a hand, look someone in the eye, good posture.
Yeah.
Stand up when you're shaking someone's hand. So.
You know who actually taught me that?
Your grandpa.
My grandpa did, yes. But even before my grandpa, my stepdad, Joe Hagner.
Really?
He did. He was, I think I got one of those mutated mosquitoes on my arms. But yeah, he was very big on manners. Like, oh my God, dude. He was in my life from the time I was 5 to 10. And dude, if I like did not say, please, thank you, excuse me, shake hands, like I got kicked. I'll never forget, like I was sitting with my grandma and grandpa at their dinner table and I said, can you pass the butter? I'll never forget this. And I got kicked in the shins under the table. And I looked at my dad and he goes, excuse me and please. Like, and I'm like, I was like, excuse me, may I please have the butter? Like he literally just pop, kicked me in the shins. So like he was, you know, at the time I was like, God bless, this dude is strict. But I look back on it and I'm like, he cared enough to teach me that. And that's something that I think goes a long way. But you did one more thing that I think was a game changer, which in my mind, we haven't heard from him because this just happened today.
Yeah.
This is June 19th. We're recording, even though this podcast comes out on July 2nd. So
yeah. We were saying it's July right now, but
right. But we're recording it. But I'm thinking this thing that you did probably sealed the deal. What did you do?
So after I left, he said I could take a card with his name and contact information, except he didn't have an email. So I was gonna, you told me, I'm not gonna take all the credit, but you did say you should write him a thank you note. And I was gonna send him an email, but there was no email. So what you gave me an idea what to do was go get a thank you card and put it on his desk. Well, give it to someone and they'll do it, but that's what I did. I bought a thank you card. I wrote down, like, here's kind of like the gist of it. I kind of said, like, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you just letting me, like, even taking the time out of your day to even do an interview.
Yeah, because he did it on the spot.
Yeah, he literally, he just called me into his office and just started asking me questions. Like, oh, we're doing this now. Okay. Good thing I brought my resume.
You were prepared.
I was. I kind of had that in the back of my head. I was like, I should probably bring my resume. Because what if he does it on, like, an interview on the spot? So, yeah. And I was basically saying, like, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. If there's anything you need, you can always contact me. If you have a job opening still. And I also said, like I said, if I'll do whatever it takes to just make you proud and make sure the customers are happy. If there's anything you need from me, just let me know.
Dude, so let's recap some of this stuff. Number one, a lot of people I think your age will apply online and they'll stop there.
Yeah.
My application went into the black hole of the internet and I don't know what happened.
Pretty much, yeah.
Even like, I'll tell you, as a business owner, you know, I'll get emails for jobs and stuff like that and things that people want. But it doesn't really mean much. Like if someone knocked on my door since I work out of my house, might scare me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
wait, what are you doing here?
You have any work for me?
You have any spare change?
That'd scare me a little bit. But at the same time, like, so you applied and then you showed up.
Yes. And I dressed up business casual.
You did.
I had my resume. I was I was clean. I was showered. I brushed my teeth. I was fresh shaven. Like, I wanted to look good, feel good.
I love it, man. And you nailed it. And then during the interview, not only did you answer his questions, but you cited some examples.
Mm-hmm.
So that is key, because you can say an answer, but if you can back it up with an example, that's where you hit the home run.
Yeah.
And then you tied it in a bow with a handwritten thank you note, which no one does anymore. And in my opinion, no one your age hardly does any of that.
I don't know anyone that does. But I'm sure there's a selection of few that do that.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that really does that.
I don't either, but I'm excited for you, man. This is super cool. And I think
I'm really excited too.
I am too, but like I think really what I wanted to hammer home is number one, this show to selfishly I want to celebrate you because I think you were really well prepared. I think you did a lot of things right. I think you did a lot of things that quite frankly aren't done anymore. And I think what we wanted to do was serve the audience and the dads out there of like, man, like the old school manners, man, like that stuff is still cool and it still gets you, it still gets you far. So
Exactly.
I just love that, man. So, well, listen, as we head out of here,
This was a short one, wasn't it?
ah!
That's fireworks. Not even. Well, while we're recording this, it's not 4th of July just
That's
yet.
right. It's July 2nd. They're letting them off early. What are you most excited about for July 4th?
Blowing things up.
Oh my God.
I like making big, colorful booms.
Wait, are you talking about farting or are you talking about
Both.
fireworks? Okay, good. You know what?
Fireworks are cool though.
They are. They are cool. I do like 4th of July. It's a really cool special holiday.
Yes.
So, well, guys, hey, we're gonna have a link in the show notes today for First Form Grape Smash. You guys got to go check them out. They've got all kinds of good stuff over there. Also, check out what we're doing in the month of July. You will hear it for the first time this July 4th. I'm doing, as you guys have seen on the podcast, I'm doing solo shows, and each month has a theme. And this theme that I'm doing in the month of July, hint, hint, all the shows are already recorded, so they're already done. I'm doing a theme on the advice I would give myself from the age 50.
There's another one.
Really?
Yep.
They are.
I can see them now.
That's cool. So the advice I would give myself at being 50 years old, the advice I would give myself at 30. The first show is going to be on marriage. The advice I would give myself then. And by the way, for all you guys who are younger than me, I really throw myself out there on a lot of the bonehead mistakes that I made. And the advice I give myself is doing things different. The week after that will be on, which will be July 11th, will be on parenting. The week after that will be on health, wealth, and time and energy. The advice I would have given myself on that one, I was like, I really did a lot of things wrong when it came to that one. And then the final one is going to be, what would I would have done for my mental health? Because that's a big one that guys neglect, right? As our mental health, be showing up in our best, most healthiest way as parents and dads. So that's going to be one of the July guys. Yeah, man, that would be a good one. So, yeah. But dude, I love this. I love the fact that we can jam like this.
I can't wait for the next one. You have no idea.
Me neither, man. Me neither. This is like, I want to do more about the fire.
Me too.
This is awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's super uncomfortable to sit like this. But
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can see you just like holding your leg.
I am right now, but give me a few weeks and I'll probably be just fine. But for right now it's a little wonky. But guys, you wanna do the live legendary?
Live legendary.
Yeah, just go out, live legendary.
Go out. Live legendary.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. That's good.
Is that good?
That was good. That was good. Gentlemen, we love you very much. By the way, one quick thing before we head out of here today. If you're loving these shows that me and Ethan are doing, do us a favor, share these shows. These are super special, and I don't know many other podcasters that are actually doing a father-son honest conversation. If you like what we're doing, this show's for free. Go out and give us a 5-star on Apple or Spotify or whatever. If you're liking and you're loving what Ethan's saying, man, mention his name. Let him know what you're doing, what you're feeling, and what you like, and what he thinks he's spitting for. So, like I said, guys, love you very much. Thank you for tuning in.